everyone. I'm Melissa here, and welcome to your Melissa Moment. Hello, everyone. Melissa here. Welcome to your Melissa Moment, and welcome to Wellness Wednesday. You guys, there is so much to unpack today. My mental and emotional wellness is at an all-time low. All-time low. I mentioned it yesterday. I'm struggling. There has been some things that have really taken a toll on me. How are you guys? Let's start with you. Are you guys doing okay? Are you feeling it too? Like, is it just the time of year or what? I was doing great, you guys. I was doing great. I felt good. I've recently discovered, I kind of always knew it, but now it's even worse. I have PTSD. And it's over the stupidest thing. The stupidest thing, you guys. I've talked about this before. I can't believe I have to keep talking about this. I can't believe it. We live in a very old house. It's a 100-year-old house. Very old. Our house is literally on the ground floor. There is no step up to my door. It's on the ground. We live in an older neighborhood. We have an alleyway. We live close to parks. And we have been experiencing for at least 10 years issues with rodents. It never ends, you guys. Every fall we get mice in my house. No, this is not where they belong. This is not where they should be. Some years are worse than others. And we have done extensive renovations in the last 4 years to try to remedy the situation. We have had numerous exterminators in to help us with our problem. Nobody seems to know how they're getting in, where they're getting in, why they're getting in. No one can answer this for us. We have removed the original chimney, where we found extensive evidence of rodents, and we thought we solved the problem by sealing the whole thing. Nope. Still a problem. We replaced both our doors, front and back, with brand new doors because we thought maybe they were getting in there. Very expensive. And we thought we solved the problem. No. Still getting in. We had our neighbor come over, go in the basement, my husband, completely remove all the old insulation, install vapor barrier, new insulation. And we thought we solved it. No, they're still getting in. They're still getting in. You guys, every time I have so much PTSD around this because I hate mice. I hate them. There's never just one. There's never just one. Never. Even though my husband says, oh, we got it. It's gone now. Nope, 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 nope. Always more, always more. I am so stressed over this situation. I find them dirty, disgusting. It's embarrassing. I know I'm not the only one. I know other people get mice. I know this is not an uncommon thing. I hear that. I get that. But it's horrible for me. Every time I hear a trap go off, because we do have snap traps, for those of you out there, like, hey, I get it. I love animals just as much as you do, but they don't belong in my house. I have a child in here. The fact that they go to the bathroom over my things, I literally, anything I think they've touched, I throw out. I cannot keep it. I've got a thing. I can't do it. Like, no, no, no. So we have snap traps, and every time I hear one, no, I can't. I immediately go like PTSD. It's horrible. It's horrible. And I know it's stupid because they're tiny, they're little, and why am I scared? You know what? You want to know why? Because they don't have any bones. Okay? How a creature has like no bones and they can squish and flatten and get into the smallest space and create so much damage, and they multiply quickly, and then you have a big problem. You guys, oh my God, you guys, talking about it, I'm just getting anxiety. Anyway, long story short, who am I kidding? Long story long. A while ago, and I don't remember if I've even shared this with you guys. I don't even know. A couple months ago, maybe. Was it months ago? September, October. I can't remember. Can't remember when. My husband and I were here in the living room watching TV, and I heard, because I know. I know what they sound like. I know. Now, here's the funny thing. In my kitchen, I went in my little corner cabinet to grab some things, and I started to smell something. I'm like, what is that smell? Ew, what is that? And I could not figure out what that smell was. And I had been smelling it for weeks, and I couldn't figure out what the smell was. I thought maybe something went bad, maybe something spilled. Didn't know. And then my husband and I were watching TV, and I hear chewing, little gnawing, and I'm like, no, nope, we're not doing this again, every year. And my husband heard it, because half the time I hear it and he does it, and it drives me nuts. I'm like, how do you not hear that? Anyway, yes, mouse under my fridge. Under my fridge is a freaking mouse. So I felt bad because my PTSD causes me to panic, and I have to leave. And I went upstairs, and I could not. And my husband, love him. He literally stayed up all freaking night trying to catch this thing, and he couldn't get it. He could not get it. Now here's the thing. Yes, we have snap traps in our house. Yes, we also have poison. I know. Don't come for me. Don't come for me in the comments. I know it's horrible, and I'm sorry. I can't. I have to. I got to get rid of it. So it had been eating it. And I'm like, okay, good. At least it's eating it. But here's the thing with the poison. It does not kick in right away. It can take up to a week for it to work its magic, right? So we had problems 2 years ago under our cabinets. My neighbor came over and took off the kickboard, and sure enough, there was one under there. So my husband, I told him, I said, they're under the cabinets. I swear to God, I've been smelling. And then it clicked in. That smell, that's what it is. So my husband, thank God for him, because I could not do it. He took off the kickboards, and he found one dead under there. Okay. So it started off, he actually found one dead under there, but it had been there for probably a good year because he said it was literally nothing. And I'm like, well, that's great. And then he found one much fresher, dead. And he's like, okay, this is the one. This is the one. And I'm like, how do you know that's the one? How do you know? There were droppings under there. There was tons of urine under there. He had been living under there. So that was the smell I was smelling, was the urine. Great. So thank God for him. He got rid of the bodies. He cleaned everything. He sanitized everything. I have a rodent peppermint spray. He sprayed the you know what out of it, sealed it all up. Good. Now, here's the funny thing. Shortly after he did all that, like literally within 15 minutes, snap trap went off. And I'm like, are you kidding me? Are you kidding me? Okay. So he went, because we have them under our stove, because typically that's where they go. Don't ask me why, it's just where they go. So he checked. The trap had gone off, but there was nothing. Now, this was a brand new trap, brand new out of package that he had literally just set up, but there was nothing in the trap. So he says, false alarm. It must have just tripped. Sorry, don't believe that for a second. I think something hit it and was fast enough or whatever that it didn't get caught. But of course, he's like, no, it's fine. Now, every time I go in my kitchen, I immediately scan my baseboards and my kickboards because that's where they travel, right, along wallways. So every time I go in there, I scan, and there's been nothing. There's been nothing, not a thing. I'm like, okay, great. So yeah, this must have been in October. November, we're getting close to winter time, and I'm like, okay, time to bring out the winter gear, right? Jackets, hats, scarves, gloves, boots, gotta grab everything. Well, I had taken everything downstairs, right? Because you guys saw, if you watched the video, I made these little temporary like closet situations downstairs for these things. And that's where everything was. So I went downstairs into my Blair Witch basement. If you don't know what I'm talking about, you haven't watched my videos. You need to go back and see them. It explains everything. And I went to one of these closets, and we had our suitcases in front of it. So I went to roll a suitcase away. And I rolled a suitcase away, and underneath the suitcase was a mouse. It was dead. He was dead. Thank God he was dead. But he was still there. And left the room, came upstairs, told my husband to deal with it. Now I'm like, I knew there was more than one. And now I'm mad at him because he's like, oh, there's only one. There's never just one. Never. So then, of course, my husband says what he always says after he finds one. Oh, that was it. We're good now. We got it. That's what you said last time. So my anxiety's through the roof. And I'm like, there's got to be more. There's got to be more. And now here's the thing. We still don't know. Are they coming in through the basement and then working their way up into the kitchen? Or are they coming through somehow the kitchen and making their way down to the basement? We don't know. We don't know what it is. We don't know how they're getting in. I have my theory. My theory before I found the dead one in the basement was they're getting in underneath my kitchen cabinets through the wall. That was my theory. And we had plans in the summer. I told my husband, we need to rip off the back deck. We need to pump cement under our mudroom area and make a pad where the deck is of cement. Just seal it, 100% cement. Seal that you know what up, and that'll solve it. But now I'm like, are they getting in through the basement somehow? Our basement is 100% underground, you guys. 100% underground. So, and it's cinder block. You guys. So anyway, my PTSD, my anxiety, my mental well-being is not well. I've been putting off going into the basement. So my Toss It Tuesdays, if you've been following, should have been the basement. We were working down there. We were doing great down there. We were cleaning it up. It was looking wonderful. I was almost ready to do a reveal video for you guys. And then all hell broke loose. And I have not been in there. And we've been putting things down there. And the basement is a mess again. And I cannot do a reveal video because it's not ready to reveal. And because of the mouse situation, I have been scared to go in the basement. And I haven't done it. And I've been putting it off. And that has also been wreaking havoc on my mental well-being because I have OCD and I need to complete things. Otherwise, I feel like I'm going to explode. And the fact that I haven't completed the basement and the fact that my husband every once in a while mentions he can't get in the basement and stuff doesn't help. And the mouse situation doesn't help. And it's not great. So I've been putting off going in there because I'm scared. I'm going to find things. And my husband, I mean, God rest his soul. Why did I say God rest his soul? He's not dead. Sorry. My brain is just, he's very much alive. Thank God. My husband, I love him, but he's not good with details. And he is not good at seeing things. Like he could literally, you know, most guys, right? They go into the fridge for ketchup and it's literally right there. And they are looking in and they're like, where's the ketchup? And then they can't find it, and it's literally right there. I don't know what that is, but it's what he does. And he's like, well, I'll go in the basement and look. And I know, I mean, yeah, he would. He would go look. I know he would. And that's great. But I know he wouldn't see anything. It could be right in his face, and he's not going to see it. Because number one, mice have the ability to just freeze and not move. And it's very hard to see them because they're small and they don't move. And our basement is dark and there's no windows down there and there's lots of stuff. So there's lots of places for them to hide. And, you know, so even though he's offering to go look, I know he's not going to see anything. I know he's not. So that doesn't really help me. I'm very thorough. So I decided I have to go in the basement last night. I was like, I have to go in the basement for a few reasons. Number one, I have all the Christmas presents down there. That's where I put them. And it's Christmas time. I need to start wrapping things because that's going to take me a while. So I need to go get the gifts and bring them up. I also need to get the wrapping paper and the tape and the tissue paper, and I need to bring that up. And I have to go do it. So while I'm down there, I'm going to take a flashlight and I'm just going to kind of scan the ground for bodies or live things and hope to God I don't find anything, because if I do, it's going to be worse. So I went down there last night, you guys. I went down there. And good news, no bodies that I saw. Doesn't mean there aren't any. I just didn't see any. No live ones that I saw. Again, doesn't mean there aren't any. I just didn't see any. Now, we have rolling carts, which you probably saw me put together at some point if you watch my videos. And I have things in there. And I noticed on top of one of them, there was a couple droppings. Now, the nice thing about the poison we have is it changes the color of their droppings. So you can tell if they've had poison or not. And one of the droppings looked like it didn't have any color to it. It was just normal. The other one looked like it had eaten poison. Now, it could have been from the same one, but I doubt it. So that tells me that's 2 for sure. One that ate poison and one that didn't. Okay. Now, we also found 2. We found one in the basement and we found one up here. So that could have been them. So then there was only 2 droppings there. So I started in that area using my flashlight and looking around a little closer. Now, it's a cinder block basement, but it's a rough cinder block basement. Like there's almost like a little ledge of concrete. And then it's like a wall, and then it's kind of like a little, like not a ledge, but just kind of like a little curve, and then more wall. And then up at the top, you can see the wood with the vapor barrier and the insulation that my husband and neighbor put in. And I took my flashlight and I was kind of looking now also, because it's a Blair Witch basement. This is also the wall where our electrical panels are. So our electrical panels are there, as well as a lot of cobwebs. And I'm not just talking cobwebs. I'm talking like thick, it looks almost like cotton. That's how horrible it is. And I'm using my flashlight and I'm looking, and thankfully I didn't see any creatures. But what I did see was droppings. Droppings were caught in the cobwebs. And there was a couple on the ledge. So that makes me think they're getting in through the basement. But again, I don't know, because it also connects to like the roof of the basement is the floor to my kitchen, right? Like in that area where the breaker panels are, that's literally underneath where my kitchen cabinets are, which is where I think they're getting in. So again, are they coming in through the kitchen cabinets and going down, or are they coming up? I don't know. But we're getting closer, I think, to determining the area they're getting in. Now, we have already taken, we have a vapor barrier, we have insulation, we've got the pesticide spray foam, we've sprayed under the cabinets, we've tried to, fill it. I feel like we're doing our best to remedy the situation. Like I said, thankfully, didn't see anything down there last night. As of right now, if this wasn't my house and you asked me if I thought there were still rodents in my house, I would probably say no. I don't think there's currently any rodents in this house. But there's a little part of me that is not convinced. There's just a little part of me. So we've reached out to our electrician because there is a big gap behind the breaker board up where there's no insulation or anything. And it's been a couple years since my husband and neighbor did that. So I'm like, do you remember? Did you have insulation up there? Did you not put insulation up there? Do you remember? He's like, I can't remember a thing. I'm like, okay. So what we need to do, and this will probably be in the new year, we need to remove the breaker panels. And then we need to get up in that area and we need to take a closer look. And then we need to fill it, make sure there's a vapor barrier back there, and then insulation and all that kind of stuff. So we've reached out to an electrician to say, hey, we need the break. I mean, it's old. It's an old breaker panel. It probably needs to be rewired anyway. So this will probably be a New Year thing, right? Which would be great. This would be great. My husband, I know he's watching because he edits these for me. I go away in January for a week. If he could get the electrician in during that week and deal with the situation while I'm not here, that would be the best for me. That would really help me mentally so I don't have to know about findings and things. That would be great. If we could do that, that would be great. That would be great. So yeah, Wellness Wednesday today is just, I'm not doing well. I keep thinking, like, we've spent so much money on what we think is going to fix this problem, and it doesn't. You guys, I don't know. And for those of you saying, just get a cat, because I've had that happen before, like, oh, just get a cat. Okay, here's a couple things about that. Number one, getting a cat, yeah, getting a cat might help catch mice in my house, but they're still getting in. I'm trying to stop them from getting in. That's the goal. I don't want them in. So yeah, getting a cat, great. They could help get them while they're in, but I just don't want them in. I want them to stay on the out. So that's not going to help. Also, I'm very allergic to cats, like deathly allergic. Like I could go into anaphylactic shock if I have a cat. So that's not going to happen. Not going to happen. So you guys, mentally, I'm not doing well. I also mentioned in yesterday's video, I'm not doing well because of the amount of things. So I'm really struggling mentally. I'm having a really hard time. And of course, it's Christmas. So I'm also trying to hold it together because it's Christmas time. So you have extra activities at Christmas time, right? Like, oh, you got to go and look at the lights. And like, we're in Saskatoon, so we also do like the Festival of Trees and the Enchanted Forest and Glow and making cookies and making Christmas desserts and, you know, wrapping presents and doing hot chocolates and watching Christmas movies and building snowmen and going sledding. And there's so many activities around this time of year, and I'm the mom. So a lot of that falls on my shoulders to plan and organize and do. And you add that on top of everything I'm feeling and dealing with, and it's a lot. And I'm really trying to hold it together. I'm really trying. But it's hard sometimes, and that's okay. That's okay. But yeah, I'm struggling. I'm on the struggle bus. And I think it's worse this year than ever. And I think part of that is the mouse situation, because it's been years and we try. It's not that we're not trying, but it's not fixed yet. And I hate that. When there's a problem, I very much want to find a solution and execute the solution so there's no more problem. I don't like this circle. I don't like this vicious circle of, oh, we have a mouse. Okay, we fixed it. Now, no mice, because now it's summertime and spring and summer and everything's fine. And then, oh, fall time. Oh, we have a mouse. And like, it keeps going. And I cannot do this anymore. I can't. And a lot of people say, oh, we'll just move, or that doesn't solve it either. A lot of people have mice. So that's the biggest thing on my brain right now is the mouse situation. It's got to end. We got to fix this. I don't care if we need to, I don't know, build a fortress around the house. I don't know. I don't know what we need to do. Whatever we need to do, we'll do it. We just got to figure out what that is. So mentally, I'm not doing well. I'm hoping by next Wednesday, I'm better. That's the hope. That's the goal. We don't need perfect. We just need better. So we're going to work toward that. And Christmas, I want to enjoy it. I don't want to just let's get through it. I want to enjoy it. I don't want to just get through it. I want to enjoy it. I want to experience it. I want to not have this burden in my brain. I want to be able to just enjoy things. So I'm going to focus on that. We're going to do our best to get there. This is a hard time of year for a lot of people for a lot of different reasons. And for me, right now, these are my reasons. As crazy as they are, as stupid as they sound, this is it. So thank you guys for watching my Wellness Wednesday. I hope you guys are doing better than me. And if not, just know you're not alone. because I'm there too. So thanks so much for watching, guys. We'll see you guys next time. Bye.